Hi everyone, it's Eileen with Creative Eye Designs. Today I'm going to show you how I make my handmade noses for my gnomes using a performance wear that I get at Joann's Fabrics. So here I'm just going to lay out my fabric and I'm going to cut these into 6-inch squares. You can make any size you want. This is the size that works for me in the gnomes that I make. Next, you're going to need some crochet thread. I'm using a white. You can use whatever color you'd like. It's not going to be seen in the end. So I'm just going to, actually, I don't usually measure my twine, but for the sake of this tutorial, I did take the time to measure it. And once I measured my twine or my crochet thread, it measured out to be 22 inches long, and that is with the thread folded in half. Next, we're going to take some polyfill and we're going to stuff the nose. I'm going to lay the fabric square over my hand, and between the pointer finger and the thumb, we are going to create this little pocket, and I want to pretty much have that centered in the center of the square. And we will just start to fill with a little bit of polyfill in the beginning. Just want to put small amounts in there, tuck it in, and just keep going. So as I'm stuffing the nose, I am just repositioning my square to make sure my ends are all staying up and I'm not losing any of the ends of the fabric in my hand. So just continue stuffing, and just when you think that you have enough stuffing in there, I always add just a little bit more. Again, I'm pulling up my ends just to ensure that everything is staying, and that's what your nose should look like. I also give a peek in the middle to make sure before I tie it up that no stuffing is coming through the ends. Next, we're going to take our 22-inch folded in half, and we're going to fold that in half again, and I'm going to lay it over the center of the nose or around the nose like that. And I'm going to take one end of the fabric and I'm going to wrap it around the nose. Then I'm going to grab the other end of the crochet thread and wrap it around in the opposite direction. And that's what the nose should look like at this point. I'm going to pull it nice and tight. And again, making sure that there are none of the polyfill is coming through. Or what will happen when you add your nose, it will pop open. So now I'm just going to tie a knot with the two ends, but I'm going to loop it through 3 times before pulling it really tight. I learned this technique and the nose on Nancy's Cottage Designs. I will put her channel down in the description below. Once I pull that nice and tight, again, you can pull up your fabric ends before tying it off, or just tie it off in a single knot. And you can then pull your fabric again to tighten it up. It makes more sense as you're doing it, but you can see that I'm pulling those ends of fabric up as tight as I can, because we're going to trim that fabric off when we're done. That's what your nose should look like once you get all your ends pulled up. And now I'm going to hold the two ends together where it was knotted, and I'm going to trim the fabric. Once I have the fabric all trimmed off, I don't want to cut it too short. You do want to leave some room so that your ends don't fall through that thread. I'm going to grab my needle nose pliers and I'm going to begin to tug and pull up all those ends. Make sure you get the ones that are in the center as well. And always keep checking that there is no polyfill popping through your fabric. And there you have it, guys. There is your handmade nose made with fabric. And again, I will link Nancy's channel down below in the description. Go check her out, guys. She's great.